You know, there was a time when he was, without a doubt, the most famous man on the planet. A true comedic genius who clawed his way up from the slums of Victorian London to become this global icon, all through his unforgettable screen persona, the Tramp. But Charlie Chaplin's real life, wow, it was just as packed with drama, controversy, and heart as any of his classic films.
To really understand the artist, you've got to start with the boy. And this quote, it just says it all, doesn't it? It perfectly captures the world he came from. A childhood of such unbelievable hardship that it would literally become the raw material for his entire career.
Chaplin's early life in London wasn't just poor. I mean, this was a story straight out of a Charles Dickens novel. It was a constant, desperate struggle just to survive.
Just think about this for a second. His father was gone, no support there. His mother, Hannah, was battling severe mental illness, leaving young Charlie and his brother to basically fend for themselves. He was in and out of workhouses. These weren't just sad memories for him. This was the raw, emotional clay he would later mold into his art. It's what made the Tramp's struggles against this big, unforgiving world something that everyone, everywhere, could understand.
But that struggle, it forged an absolutely undeniable talent. From the gritty music halls of England, Chaplin got scouted for America's booming vaudeville circuit. And from there, it was just a short leap to a brand new medium that wouldn't just make him a star, it would make him a global superstar: motion pictures.
So the creation of his signature character is a great story. It actually happened almost by accident. For his second film back in 1914, he was just told to throw on some kind of comedy costume. So he grabs this weird mix of clothes, and as he put it, the moment I was dressed, the clothes and the makeup made me feel the person he was. And just like that, the Tramp was born.
And his popularity didn't just grow, it exploded. I mean, look at these numbers. In just 2 years, he went from being a nobody stage actor making $150 a week to, at just 26 years old, one of the highest paid people in the entire world. His contract was worth over $670,000 a year, back then. The public's demand for his films was so crazy that one journalist even called it Chaplinitis. It just swept the nation.
Okay, so with that incredible fame and, let's be honest, all that money, Chaplin did something truly revolutionary. He seized total artistic control, which allowed him to create some of cinema's most timeless masterpieces.
This was a huge deal. Teaming up with other Hollywood titans like Mary Pickford and Douglas Fairbanks to form their own studio, United Artists, it meant that he was no longer just an actor for hire. He was the boss. He was the studio. He could now spend as much time and as much money as he wanted to get his films absolutely perfect.
And that freedom? Well, it resulted in this incredible string of classic feature films. He moved way beyond simple slapstick. He started blending comedy with real, genuine heart and sharp social commentary. The Kid drew directly from his own childhood trauma. Modern Times took a shot at industrialization, and all of them showcased the Tramp as this amazing symbol of resilience.
He actually said that The Gold Rush was his masterpiece. It's his epic comedy set against the super grim backdrop of the Klondike Gold Rush. And it has some of his most iconic scenes ever. The ones, the starving tramp famously eating his own shoe, and that delicate, brilliant dance of the rolls.
Now get this, even as all of Hollywood was going crazy for sound in the late 1920s, Chaplin resisted. He was a master of pantomime, and he really believed the Tramp's universal appeal was in his silence. It was a massive gamble, but man did it pay off. He released City Lights and Modern Times as silent films years into the sound era, and they're still two of his most beloved works today.
But, he couldn't hold out forever, and when he finally gave his characters a voice, it wasn't just to tell a few jokes. It actually marked the beginning of a new, politically charged phase of his career, and a long, dramatic fall from grace in his adopted home of America.
His first full sound film, The Great Dictator, was this incredibly audacious satire of Adolf Hitler, released in 1940. The film ends with Chaplin breaking character to deliver this passionate 5-minute speech against fascism. And that overt political message, it triggered a major shift. The beloved clown was suddenly seen by some as a dangerously progressive political voice.
So the 1940s were just a total nightmare for Chaplin. J. Edgar Hoover's FBI, who was already suspicious of him, fueled a media firestorm. He was painted as a communist sympathizer during the Red Scare, got tangled up in a messy and very public paternity suit, and was condemned for his marriage to Una O'Neill. His popularity in the U.S. just plummeted. This relentless campaign against him all came to a head in a really dramatic climax.
a forced exile from the country that had made him a star, followed decades later by an emotional, triumphant return. The final blow came while he was sailing to London with his family. A cablegram arrived. The U.S. Attorney General had revoked his re-entry permit. He was effectively banned. And honestly, after years of political persecution, Chaplin was fed up and chose not to fight it. He settled his family in Switzerland, and that's where he would live for the rest of his life.
So 2 decades go by, the political climate in America starts to soften, and a whole new generation of filmmakers is celebrating Chaplin as a foundational artist. So the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences decided it was time to right a wrong. They invited him back to receive an honorary award.
And when the now frail, 82-year-old Chaplin walked out onto that stage, the entire industry rose to its feet for a standing ovation that lasted a full 12 minutes. Can you imagine? It was this powerful, overwhelming moment of redemption, a final acknowledgement of the immeasurable gift he had given to cinema.
In his final years, the world really rushed to honor him. After that Oscar, his home country finally recognized him, as Sir Charles Chaplin was awarded a knighthood. He passed away peacefully at his home in Switzerland. His legacy as one of cinema's true giants, completely and firmly secured.
You know, his journey from the London slums to global fame, from political exile to ultimate redemption, it's as compelling as any story he ever put on screen. It really makes you wonder, how does a silent comedian, exiled for his beliefs, remain one of cinema's most powerful and influential voices even today? The Tramp may have been silent, but his creator's impact, well, it continues to echo through the art of film.